The lighting showdown with the lights we already have. 120D Mark II, Digital Sputnik DS1, Quasar 4-foot. This is a 2-foot. Shit. Whole way through we're doing a 2-foot. Aputure 300D original, OG. Okay. Lighting breakdown. Hey, my name is Thomas O'Hara. I'm the co-owner of Cooper & O'Hara. And today we're gonna break down 3 lights, the Aputure 120D Mark II, the Aputure 300D, and the DS1 Digital Sputnik. To do this test, we're gonna place each light 6 feet away from a white wall. We're gonna blast it at 25% power, 50% power, 75% power, and 100% power to see what the f-stop readout is for each light. We'll use our trusty Sputnik light meter to measure the output. We usually shoot with our C200 at ISO 800, so we'll set this meter to that and get the readout at a 50th of a second for each light. And for a bonus light, let's add in the Quasar 4-foot battery-powered tube. Okay, let's go do that now. Okay, first up, we're gonna measure the DS1 somewhere there, and we'll start with full power on the meter. Let's do it. Is F7.1, 7.1, full power DS1. Moving on, 5.6. Okay, and we're getting a readout of 5.6 on 75% power. 50% power on the DS1 is 4.5. F4.5 on the DS1 at 50% power. Let's do 25. 3.2. 3.2 f-stop on 25% power. Let's quickly compare with the DS1 how much output you lose when you use a color on the RGB controllable DS1. 3.2. So full power with the light, it's dropping all the way down to 3.2 on the readout. Let's try one more color just to see the range. And more of this greeny color, you're getting a readout of 5, so a little bit more power coming out of that. So it really varies on the color spectrum. Let's move on to another light. Okay, and now let's test the Aputure 300D, 100% power. Let's go. 100% is F13. F13 at 100% power on the Aputure 300D. 75%. 75 is F10. 75% power is reading out at F10. F10. 50%. 50% power is F8. F8. F8 at 50% power. 25% power. F5. F5 at 25% power. Moving on to the next light. Now let's test out the Aputure 120D Mark II at 100% power. F14, F14 at 100% power. Moving on to 75% power. F11, the 120D Mark II at 75% power is F11. 50% power, F56, F56 at 50%. Now 25% power. At 25% power, it's 2.2. All right, one bonus on the 120D. We also have the Fresnel flood adapter. Let's see how that can boost the power output at 100% on the 120D. Woohoo! That focus beam is dishing out F29. So that's a bright spot of light coming out of there. That's awesome. Let's see the flood setting. F20. Even the largest spot on the Fresnel head is boosting the power quite a bit. Okay, and let's test the 4-foot Quasar Tube at 100% power. Because it's bicolor, let's do the daylight balance and the warmer balance, which I'm not even sure what the readout is on that. 3.2. 3.2 on the daylight balance Quasar. Now the warmer color, 2.5. 2.5 on the warmer, maybe 3000 Kelvin readout on the Quasar 4-foot tube. Blah. Okay, and that concludes all of the lights. let's head back to the desk and go over what we learned. I hope you found it useful to see the different outputs of the lights and see their max power. I found it interesting how the 120D and the 300D were essentially the same output. And I would like to compare the 300D Mark II to the 120D Mark II to see if that output is much higher. As it stands now though, a quick takeaway, definitely buy the 120D Mark II over the 300D original, as the output's the same on the high end, but you're dealing with a lot less cords, which is a pain to set up and has us always reaching for the 120D when possible. I think a key takeaway from this is that all lights are built for a different purpose. The DS1s and the Quasars are a softer, more diffused light, hence their lower output, whereas the Aputure 120D and 300D have a more of a point source, especially with the Fresnel attachment on it, that's creating this harsher beam of light. The Quasars and the DS1s are softer, more diffused light right out of the box, hence their lower outputs. Because of that, they also don't require as much diffusion between them and the subject to create a soft source as a key light or a kicker light. The Aputure lights, on the other hand, are more point sources, especially with their reflector dishes on. The nice thing about these lights is it allows more light output to create book lights or bounce into a ceiling to fill a room with light, or put the Fresnel attachment on and create a beam of light coming in through a window. The DS1s for us are often used as RGB lights because they're all we have for those, and we will use them to color a space or use it as a kick light on the side of a face, or we'll use it as a key light with minimal diffusion needed in front of it if we have less space to work with. The Quasar is great for this too. We'll use it as a kick light. We'll use it in the scene itself to add contrast to the frame by having a bright spot in a dark background. We'll use it as a key light if we have limited space and can't even put up any diffusion. Every light has a different purpose. Again, all of these are just tools to get you to your end result. At the end of the day, it's important to know the light output of each light you're using, to know its limitations and its strengths and weaknesses. But don't just buy the most powerful light on the market unless that's what you need. Buy the light that's most versatile for you, for your purposes, for your needs. At the end of the day, you're creating your vision. Finally, there are many lights here that we obviously didn't cover, with new lights coming out monthly. Research well and don't get caught up in needing the newest thing. At the end of the day, light is just that. It's light. You can find it anywhere. So don't let these tools get in the way of you just going out and creating your vision. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll get to those. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.